Hi, friends. Welcome back to Journey to a Joyful Life. Today's topic is one that every single one of us struggles with, even if we don't talk about it out loud. Uncertainty. The in-between seasons. The waiting seasons. The moments where we don't know what's coming next, and our brain starts spinning stories about everything that could go wrong. And yet, if we look back at our lives, some of our most meaningful, transformative chapters didn't happen when everything was predictable. They happened in the unknown. So today, we're unpacking why uncertainty feels so scary, what your brain is actually doing behind the scenes, and how you can shift from fear to growth and even joy in the middle of the unknown. Special thanks to my dear friend Heather for inspiring this video content from our conversation last week. So let's take a deep breath and let's get into it. First, I want to talk about the fact that fear is really normal. Uncertainty feels threatening because our brains hate unpredictability. The amygdala in our brain fires up. It's the same alarm system as if you were in physical danger. Even harmless uncertainty can trigger the prepare for the worst reflex in our brains and in our bodies. And this is not a personal flaw of yours. It's our biology. Our brains want safety, not growth. But growth happens outside of safety. The brain would rather have bad news than no news, because at least bad news is predictable. The prefrontal cortex, the front part of our brains where logic and planning are going on, that part goes offline during stress. That's why uncertainty leads us towards catastrophizing, overanalyzing, and assuming the worst. Understanding this as a natural part of our biology hopefully can help reduce shame. I'm not broken. My brain is actually trying to protect me. Even though your brain alerts danger, uncertainty is often where life expands. Growth in our lives rarely comes when we're comfortable. You don't usually become wiser, braver, or more grounded when everything is predictable and easy. The unknown is the birthplace of creativity, of possibilities, and of reinvention. Most of your happy plot twists in your life probably came from moments where the path wasn't clear. So I want to share a personal story. Several years ago, I was part of a large layoff, and I was filled with a number of emotions when it first happened, as I'm sure many of you have experienced if you've been part of this kind of a situation in your life. I felt scared, I felt surprised, I felt angry, I felt betrayed, I felt overwhelmed, I felt sad. It was all kinds of feelings, right? The primary concern for me was the uncertainty. I didn't know what was going to be next in my career. And so after I got over the initial shock and spoke to my very supportive spouse about what was happening, suddenly I started to realize that maybe this would be an opportunity for something new, a new direction. If I was honest with myself, I had gotten a little bit stale with the predictability of my career at that point. And so while I was still scared, that started to feel like possibility mixed in with the uncertainty. So I focused on the things I could control. I made a spreadsheet of all the jobs I was applying for, the date I applied, any response that I heard. I made a commitment to myself to work at least 2 hours every day, whether that was getting on LinkedIn and reaching out to people, or refining my resume, or looking for jobs. But every work day, I sat myself in my office and worked, focused on my career. During this time, I also discovered Qigong and started doing a daily practice because now I had some time to think about things like that. And that change alone has been extremely dramatic for my health, both mental health and physical health. I remember back when this was happening, thinking to myself, there will be a time when I look back on this and feel grateful. It's not now, but it will happen. I know in my heart that will happen. And that came true. I am now in a career that I adore, working with some incredible people on projects that really matter to me. I'm so grateful for that layoff because I don't think I would have looked for this path I'm on now if that hadn't happened. It's okay that during uncertain times you feel negative feelings. I am not asking you to have toxic positivity. I felt a lot of I was embarrassed. It took me a long time to confide in friends and family. It's okay. It's okay to be uncertain. What I want you to think about and remember is that it doesn't last forever, and there will come a time when you look back, most likely with gratitude, even if that seems completely impossible right now. The clarity didn't come for me before I took the step. It came after. Growth revealed itself inside the uncertainty. So I want to teach you how to shift your mindset from panic to possibility if you're sitting in an uncertain moment right now. It's important to reframe the uncertainty as space for possibility and not danger. Letting your brain know that you actually are safe and this is an opportunity to grow. So instead of thinking to yourself, what if it all goes wrong? Try asking a different question. Try asking yourself, what beautiful thing might be trying to enter my life right now? Try to move from fear to curiosity. Ask some open-ended questions to yourself. Things like, what is this season in my life trying to teach me? What strength am I developing right now? What might be possible that I can't see yet? Curiosity quiets down the amygdala in our brain and activates that prefrontal cortex, that thinking part in the front of your brain, and it brings that back online. I also want to share with you a few grounding exercises that you can try if you're sitting in uncertainty right now. The first one is a simple breath exercise. Inhaling for a slow count of 4 and exhaling for a slow count of 6. As simple as this is, it signals to your brain that you are safe. Another exercise you can try is a sensory check-in. Start asking yourself, what are all the things that you can see in your world right now? What can you hear, smell, touch? Get in touch with all of your senses so that you're grounded in the present moment. This can be a really helpful exercise if you're feeling a lot of uncertainty. Another exercise that you can try is journaling or writing. Here is a writing prompt that you might want to give a shot. What is in my control today? What is not? Answering these questions in a writing exercise can really help you feel centered and grounded and take action within uncertainty. And then one last exercise you might want to try is some self-talk statements. Saying things repeatedly to yourself like, I can do hard things. Uncertainty is temporary. I don't need all the answers to take the next step. Uncertainty doesn't mean failure or danger. It's a sign that you're evolving into your next chapter, even if you can't see it yet. You've survived every uncertain season in your life so far. You are capable, resilient, and growing in ways you'll only understand later. If you're in a season of uncertainty right now, I just want to tell you this. You are not alone, and you're not doing anything wrong. Your brain is simply trying to protect you, and you are learning how to build a life that is bigger than fear. Growth doesn't happen when everything is predictable. It happens when you take gentle steps in the dark, trusting that clarity will come as you move. If this message supported you today, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and maybe share it with someone who needs comfort in their own uncertain season. And tell me in the comments, what uncertainty are you walking through right now? And what grounding exercise are you going to try? Until next time, friends, may you find moments of joy, even and especially in the unknown.